Hello, everyone. It's Joe from the Strange Voyage Files, and as you can see, I'm doing Whitesnake 1987. All right, so obviously, probably a no-brainer as to why I'm doing this album. David Coverdale had announced last week he's going to retire, and yeah, 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 and yeah, you know, everybody, everyone's retiring. Nobody stays retired. Here's what I foresee happening. Something along these lines. Year, 2 years down the road, whatever it may be. But not too far off in the distant future. David Coverdale will have give an interview of something along the lines of, well, I got to tell you, man, some of the lads, I have a studio in my home, don't you know, and some of the lads came over and we had a few pints and a few whiskies and, we did a little jam here and there and we thought, oh boy, that sounds good, so we decided to lay down a few of the tracks from the little jam that we did, and what we realized was that you had enough tracks for an album, so we're going to release an album and then go on a 17-year, 2 trillion city tour of every single city on the planet. We're even going to go to little villages in the most small, far-reach countries on the planet. Yes, it's a little tiny thing. Yes. So out of retirement I go. Okay. I had a horrible British accent. Apologize to anyone from England that watched that. I call BS on all of them. I don't think any of them are going to retire. And all the tributes and on Facebook and on whatnot. No. In fact, there was one on a pretty popular, I can't remember which one, on a pretty popular Facebook page, and everyone was, oh, David, we love you, which we do. I mean, David's phenomenal. And I was like the one that put the angry face. And I was like, call bullshit. No, don't believe it for a second. Who knows? Could be wrong, but I don't believe it for a second. That being said, if you're going to do a Whitesnake album, you got to do Whitesnake 87. It is the Whitesnake album. I said this in my hair metal review. This is not hair metal. David Coverdale is not hair metal. That is an insult. Hair metal to me is an insult. Hairband insult. Here's why. You do have some people, Janie Lane from Warren, like I said, I love the first 3 Warren albums. Got to give them credit where credit is due. John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora, and usually Desmond Child with them. Right songwriter for hire. These guys are good songwriters. I guess a couple of the guys in Poison, because people bought those albums. Good songwriters. I can't think of any of them that are great musicians. I know some people think Richie Sambora is a great guitar player. I don't see it. Don't care for it. Don't think so. Beyond that, I don't know anybody, and I don't consider, right before you throw Warren DeMartini out there, because Warren is an unbelievable guitar player, don't consider Rat hair metal. I mean, there are idiots that say Queensryche was hair metal. Queensryche is not even in the realm of hair metal. Whitesnake, David Coverdale. Let me just read the names in this band that were on this album at the time. David Coverdale vocals. John Sykes. John Sykes, you're going to lump in with CeCe DeVille and whatever idiot plays in Cinderella and Joey Allen from Warrant, and whoever plays in Kicks. You're going to put John Sykes on that level. Go do something that's not very pretty. Neil Murray. No, it's not a name a lot of people know. Played with Black Sabbath. Phenomenal bass player. Absolutely unbelievable bass player. Let's see, a little guy, I don't know, known as the Octopus, Ainsley Dunbar, one of the most respected drummers of all time, a little band called Journey, like Steve Smith, but Steve Smith can't hold a candle to Ainsley Dunbar. Hair metal, Ainsley Dunbar, you're going to say is in a hair metal band. And the one that probably would drive me the most insane, because I put this guy on the biggest pedestal, Don Airey. Hair metal, huh? Don Airey, Blizzard of Oz band? Don Airey is hair metal. Anybody who thinks Whitesnake is hair metal, stop the video, call the doctor, get that CAT scan scheduled. All right, so now that that's out of the way. No, this is a straightforward hard rock album, and it's pretty darn awesome. All right, let's start. And there are different versions, like there's a European version. I'm doing the American version. There's a Bulgarian version. Doing the American version. Now, I know this album pretty darn well. I, like everybody else, it sold like 10 million copies in the U.S. I, like everybody else, played it a billion times. Now, excuse me. Much like many of you, I am burnt out on a lot of these songs. So I really had to go back to 1987 to get into that mindset so I could give them a real ranking. Because it's not fair to do it now where I can't even listen to Here I Go Again. My daughters love, we all love Cobra Kai, the show. And there's that dream sequence with Here I Go Again. My daughters love it. They'll like find it on YouTube and play it. I can't even be in the room. I'm so sick of Here I Go Again. But I have to go into the 87 mindset. Okay, but let's start off with Crying in the Rain, 87, and that, again, that was one of the ones that was on a redo of an old album. It's a 2. It's not, for me, I know that a lot of people love this song. It's too bluesy for me. I'm not a big fan of the blues. And Coverdale, again, is background in the blues. I think Sabbath, when they, their background is blues, and they do it well. Crying in the Rain did not work for me. Absolutely not. It's a 2. It's the weakest song off the album for me. Bad Boys is a 4. It's just a fast-paced rockin' song. I actually think Bad Boys probably should have started this album off. Solid 4. All right. Now we go into the singles. And it's like one massive hit after another. Still of the Night is a 5. Very Led Zeppelin-y. That's been said ever since the beginning. Great song. It's, I don't know if that stop and go is mid-tempo like I always complain the Dio does, but it's phenomenal. However that worked out, that arrangement is phenomenal, where it's kind of almost like talking in the verses. Soul of the Night is a 5, solid. Here I Go Again, it is a 5. I can't listen to the song now, but I loved that song forever. It is a solid 5. It is the hit that, it's meant to be, or that it's become, whatever. Give Me All Your Love is another 5, single, great song. Is This Love, the ballad, and again, Here I Go Again, Is This Love. I think they're both Tawny Katane. Maybe she was in all of these. I don't remember. I always loved seeing those videos because of Tawny Katane. Still do. Rest in peace, Tawny. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't drink and don't do drugs. Listen to Uncle Joe. Oh, nothing good comes from drugs and alcohol. Sadly, Tawny Katane learned that the hard way. I think I said, Give Me All Your Love is a 5. Is This Love is a 5. These 4 consecutive 5s. So Still of the Night, Here I Go Again, Give Me All Your Love, Is This Love, solid 5s. Then we get to Children of the Night. It's one of those songs where the verse and the bridge are good, and it loses me at the chorus. I think it's an anticlimactic chorus. It's a 3. Straight for the Heart is a fast-paced rockin' song. It's a good solid 4. And then we end off with Don't Turn Away, which is kind of ballady, and it's a 4. So we average all these up, and it becomes a, what do we get? A 4.1, which is a 4. Yeah, I wouldn't say this album is a 5 for my taste. Again, a couple of the blues thing in the first song really killed that for me. It's got some great songs on it. But yeah, this album is a 4. You got to remember, you know, when I think of an album that's a 5, you're talking Blizzard of Oz, you're talking Diary of a Madman, you're talking Shout at the Devil. Say what you want about it. Shout at the Devil's a 5. High and Dry is a 5. Power Slave's a 5. You know, they're just these albums that are absolutely perfect. Pretty much every Black Sabbath album with Ozzy. Never Say Die, maybe not, and definitely not 13. You know, are pretty much going to be 5s. But this is a 4. It's a good 4, and it's a great album. So definitely listen to Whitesnake 1987. It lives up to all the hype. A lot of people would rank this as a perfect album as a 5, and God bless, because it is a really, really good album. I am not buying that he's retiring. Even if he thinks it now, he's not going to retire. It's just, no, but none of them are retiring. None of them. We've had too much. Hey, guess what, guys? Kiss, End of the Road. Kiss, End of the Road. Kiss, you know that band where 2 of the guys are wearing the real makeup and 2 phony guys are stolen the makeup from 2 of the real guys. End of the Road. That was it. Again, they just played Vegas. They retired. Ozzy had no more tours. Gotta give it to Maiden. Maiden is one of the... Maiden, I will believe when they do it. When they say it, I'll believe it. Alice Cooper, I will believe it. If he says it, I'll believe it. I don't think Megadeth is done. I think we're going to get some Dave Mustaine solo albums. I don't even know why he's going to call them Dave Mustaine solo albums, because Megadeth is basically a solo band for him at this point in time. So, I mean, I guess Megadeth could be over with. God rest his soul. If Ronnie James Dio was still alive and he said, I'm retiring, I'd believe him. Aerosmith was retiring. And they just came out with some EP. I got to listen to it with Youngblood. I will force myself to listen to it. Joey Kramer's not on it. Once again, Steven Tyler, you piece of garbage, screwed that man as you have done for decades. And Joe Perry, the other greedy. And then Tom Hamilton and Brad Whitford. Why don't you just sit in the corner and not say anything and stand up for your buddy, for somebody who's been your friend for decades? Don't get me started. All right. Off track a little bit, but guess what? It's my video. I can do whatever I want. Great album, Whitesnake 87. Other great albums from Whitesnake as well. I hope that this isn't the end. I doubt it is, at least for Coverdale. We'll have something or other. All right. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you